Welcome, I'm Raghav and today we are going to learn from scratch what is Protractor. So I'm going to go very basic step by step, so do not worry if you have no prior knowledge on Protractor, and we will learn what is Protractor. And to understand Protractor in a very easy and efficient way, we also need to understand what is Angular and AngularJS and what is WebDriver.js. So we will learn all this in a very simple way. So here, what is Protractor? A standard definition is Protractor is an end-to-end test framework for Angular and AngularJS applications. Now to understand this, we need to know what is end-to-end testing, what is Angular, and what is AngularJS. So here, if I talk about end-to-end testing, in any application we can have multiple modules and all these modules talk to each other. So if I take a very simple example, they can be a module for user registration, they can be a module for login, profile and logout. So if we test a complete scenario or a business use case or a user scenario, for example, a user goes to registration and registers himself, then he logs into the application and then goes to the profile and logs out. This will be a complete scenario. So the type of testing to verify a complete use case or a user scenario or a business logic of the application from start to finish is called end-to-end testing. Whereas if I talk about unit testing or component testing, it is for testing the individual unit or component of the application. For example, in this particular scenario, if I just take registration module and write test cases only for the standalone module, it will be a unit testing. So now we know Protractor is for end-to-end testing. Now it is for Angular and AngularJS applications. Both of these are frameworks that are used to build front-end web applications. If I show you in a very simple way, these are frameworks behind web applications which are user facing applications. So both AngularJS and Angular are frameworks for creating these web applications. So now we know this. If I again go and talk about Angular and AngularJS, let us see what exactly is AngularJS. AngularJS is a JavaScript framework and it is open source and it is used for creating web applications. So it is open source web application framework. It is written in JavaScript and this is one of the differences with Angular. I will show you this. And it is developed by Google and initial release was in October of 2010 and it is also referred to as Angular 1. So Angular 1 is AngularJS, and when we talk about Angular, this is written in TypeScript and again it is a framework for building client-side web applications. It is again open source and written in TypeScript, developed by Google, and initial release was 2016, and it is also referred to as Angular 2 Plus or Angular version 2 and above. So AngularJS was created earlier, but there were some shortcomings for AngularJS and therefore the people who created AngularJS rewrote the entire code and developed Angular. And AngularJS has version 1 and all the version starts with 1.xx, whereas Angular starts with version 2 and then you will have version 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on. So here also if you see, in Angular you will not see version 3. After version 2 we have version 4, and that is because of the compatibility issue with router. So Angular router was on version 3 even before Angular 3 would have been released, and the next release would make the router on version 4, and therefore it was decided to skip Angular 3 version and we went with Angular 4. Now in case you need more information on this, there is a link for this YouTube video. I will also provide all these links and notes in the description of this video, so you can watch this in case you need more information on this. So we now know Protractor is an end-to-end test framework for Angular and AngularJS application, and it can be used to run your application or test your applications in real browsers. So now another very important concept or standard definition for Protractor is it is a Node.js program which is built on top of WebDriver.js. Here again we need to understand what is Node.js and then what is WebDriver.js. So Node.js is a server-side platform or a platform to develop server-side or networking applications, and it is open source and it is cross platform. And here you can have Node.js applications which are written in JavaScript and can run on different platforms. So here we can also understand Protractor is also written in JavaScript because it is a Node.js application. So now we know Protractor is Node.js program and built over WebDriver JS. So this Protractor is a wrapper over WebDriver JS. It is built over WebDriver JS, so you can understand we have WebDriver JS, which is a binding for Selenium that is used to interact with the browser. So we have functionalities or methods in WebDriver JS that is used to interact with the browser, and Protractor is a wrapper over this. WebDriver JS is the official JavaScript implementation of Selenium. Like we have implementation of Selenium in different languages like Java, Ruby, PHP, C Sharp, and therefore we have a JavaScript implementation which is called as WebDriver JS, and it helps to interact with the elements on the web. And Protractor is a wrapper over WebDriver JS and it extends its functionality. If I go to Google and just search for WebDriver JS, and I will go to images, and here you can see this image. So this explains very beautifully in a diagram about WebDriver JS. And I also have this image. Let me just copy it and I will show you here. So you can see we have WebDriver JS here, which is a implementation of Selenium in JavaScript, and this interacts with the browser or browser elements. And then Protractor is a wrapper over this WebDriver JS, and it has some more functionality so that it can handle Angular JS elements. We will discuss more on Angular JS elements later in this series. And then what you see here, like Cucumber, Mocha, Jasmine, these are testing frameworks, so you can create your test cases using these frameworks. And here this interacts with Selenium server, and then we have the browser drivers for different browsers, and finally we have the AngularJS application which is running on the browser. So this is a typical architecture or design of Protractor with WebDriver JS. We will discuss on this in more details in coming sessions. So now you can understand Protractor is an end-to-end test framework for Angular and AngularJS applications. It is a Node.js program built on top of WebDriver.js, and it is used to run the test against application running in real browser interacting with it as a real user would. And also you can use Protractor to test non-Angular applications as well, and I will show you in practicals how you can do that. So in the practicals we will learn all this. So this is what Protractor is, and this is what you can explain about Protractor in any interviews or for your own understanding in a very easy way. This is what Protractor is. Now in the next session we will see why we need Protractor, and also we will discuss the design architecture of Protractor before going into the practicals. I hope this was very useful for you. So this is going to be a beginning of learning Protractor in a very easy way. We will have more interesting sessions on Protractor. Do share your knowledge with others, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.